Welcome back, my friends, to another special edited episode of Hearts of Iron 3's Black Ice 10.41, and yes, edited by my good friend Eric. Now, I know he is, I am, we're both greatly appreciative of the positive response that these edited videos have gotten. And as long as he wants to continue editing them, I am so glad they're able to be on the channel. Now, why don't I do that to all the videos? Time. And part of what we're looking at is an experiment here is to see if we actually see significant viewer increase, as opposed to just simply people liking it. I mean, that's good, but if we gotta move from being, say, an hour to produce a 40-minute video to being 4 hours or so to produce a 40-minute video, you can see that adds a lot of time to it. So yeah, we're still wanting feedback, and of course helping sharing the videos, getting it out there. So yes, we will continue here now. A few things here. We are stomping on some submarines. Okay, conclusions after victory. Where are they? Oh, they're pushing in here on these guys. Okay, you're going to hold out just fine, I'm sure. I'm not so sure about you, though. Let's move. Nope. Well. Let's just fall back. Okay, well, these guys, they're in pretty damn good shape. Got a lot of... Let's look at some of our objectives here. Let's look. There's Moscow. Yep, I was going to ask, does Moscow matter? Yes. Okay, well, let's come over to this view here. Province like this matter a lot. Because if we can take this province here, and if we can take this province here, we shorten our effective line. Yeah, we do. But we need to take like this. I don't know. See, I'm wondering, do we swing up towards here? Okay, let's see if we can pull some of this off. Let's see, with all these exhausted forces here. Anything not attacking there? No, everything's attacking there. Okay, well, you come here. You just come there. You're going to hold that province while supporting the attack this way. Right, so we're going to try to push down this way a bit while all of these guys here. Okay, you come in and attack again. No, you're being bombed, but I want fighters up. They're resting and they're not in terribly great shape. You have no supplies. You're intercepted. Well, good. Yeah. Okay, well. You keep moving, you guys just keep holding there, drain their resources. They're pushing back here. Now, we do have, I thought we had, yes. Okay. Florian SS Cavalry Division. Let's hit this event. Okay, and it will remove some of the Ritter SS units, which are being ever so helpful over here. Not really. Or more proper, and that's really sort of what happened. We'll see if that disappears in a moment. It may. Sometimes it takes a while, sometimes they hang around. And so now we have a more proper unit. Yeah, Kepler can be in charge of it. Okay. Yeah, we'll send it up this way. Okay, we've lost that. It just wasn't that good of a prospect. Finally won that battle there. Oh, I noticed as we were strategically redeploying our reserve armored force down here, they were deploying around an outbreak of partisans in Spain, so I had them attack. And they'll take those provinces, hopefully, and the 12th Infantry Division has shattered. Yeah, I can keep pushing down. Maybe they'll take the HQ this time. Who knows? This is worrying me. Probably should have moved some more forces down here instead of all of this here. Okay, you attack there. So they won't get overrun in their retreat. Oh, okay. But we've lost this province up here. Oh no, here. That's the one we just lost. We're under attack. They're just throwing it on with some of our units. Are we overloaded? No, we're not. Good. No, we're not in great shape, but at least they're somewhat available. We just need organization. Hopefully they're getting enough supplies. Oh, those are all foreign. Controlled. Oh. Oh, I don't know if I should send these guys back home or not. A lot of dangerous shipping around here. Okay, well, looks like they're falling back, so I think I'll fall back too. See, they're trying to move a garrison up there, but okay, how are we doing here? Okay, mildly good shape, not so good shape. Let's attack here because they're part of this push on this division. I sort of want to hold this spot because we do have fortifications, so might as well hold where you can hold well. Yeah. And you guys are exhausted, I know, but hopefully just reduce the pressure here. And do we have any units in decent shape? Okay, well, let's send in you and you to counterattack there. Now it looks like they've moved most of their, we're having low supplies up here. most of their subs out of here, at least looks like it. So what we're going to do is we're going to come out of, let's see, Hamburg. Create a convoy. Create a supply convoy. We will come out of Hamburg, like I said. And we will come up to, Murmansk. That's it. We'll see how that does for engagements. We want to put supply up here and keep these guys in supply. Now, let's get out of this mode here. Okay, we have this province here fairly well surrounded. It is swamp, which is terrible. But let's, I have a cavalry brigade, so they should be reasonably decent at attacking. And these guys will support the attacks of 3 divisions. Let's see. Okay, well, they're lowering their organization, so we'll see about that. Okay, naval Jaeger division shattered. Okay. That's up here, I believe. Where is Neville? Here. Okay. Nobody's here. Stop attacking. I think those divisions are shattering in the attack. Damn. Like to say, that's what I don't like. And I know I got a fair amount of pushback from both the viewers. About 50-50 split, which is means I'm probably not right about organization or how you guys feel about it. And I know the devs push back, but I still just don't think most divisions should shatter in the attack. The defense we can talk about, but the attack, I say no. But still, that's just my opinion. And we can all have our opinions. So what I'm thinking of doing here is continuing to reinforce things. We're just at July 5th here. Reinforce. Hopefully the supplies are flowing. Let's look at our fighter situation here. The Leaguer Corps fighter. I know that probably doesn't make sense to Germans, but hey. Okay, you're sort of getting done in. You're not good, but well, yeah, there's a lot of Soviet bombers up here. We're gonna put stance passive though, so hopefully will not shatter themselves. Now, the fighter situation is a bit different in that you can go into potentially one battle well off, you know, reasonably so like this, and just get slaughtered. That can just happen, and that's a little different than. Oh, there. Yeah, he has no supplies here. Okay, there are supplies here, so we're going to. That is part of the reason why he is not getting organized, so we're going to rebase up to where there is supplies. Oh, I don't want to do that. I want to come back to here again. That's right. We were almost through the Leaguer Corps fighter. We've won the battle somewhere. Okay, down here against partisans. Good. It's not an important one, but still it's better to win than to lose. Okay, you are kicking some butt up here. No, I don't know. They're now pushing heavily there. Okay, you guys move up. You guys keep moving. Okay, there. Okay. Well, now it was pointed out to me, and yes, I do know this, how to deal with these forces is to overrun them. They're retreating back up to here. Now the question is, one, their speed of retreat, which these units are slow as a standard element, but there are various things that can speed them up. The question is can we take this province fast enough to overrun them? Or will the defending forces... Peru is quietly taking steps to align themselves to the Axis. This may cause a drift towards our faction. Well, let's look at diplomacy on this. Peru. Put some. Okay, so they're there. Now, a little bit of history about Peru that I know during this time period. Okay, before this time period, I always keep jumping back to things. There had been a fair amount, I think, if not the only country, I think the country with the biggest, I think, number/percentage of Japanese immigrants to South America was Peru. In that they have, to this day, I think it's their Asian immigrants are all Japanese to any, established descent. And they are a significant minority. They're still a small minority, but a significant minority within Peru. To the point, I think it was back in the 80s or the 90s, sometime, there was a, I think president, but maybe premier or prime minister, but now I think president, who was of Japanese descent elected in Peru. Now he was, third, fourth, whatever generation Peruvian, so he was definitely not just a recent incomer, like first generation born there or anything. No, his family went back quite some time. And so there is, during the 30s, shall we say, a fair amount of trade going on with Japan. So I think that starts in the late 19th century, the Japanese coming in there. But I'm not sure. I don't know much of the history of that part. Okay. Now I do, this is where that was sort of jumping back where I wanted to start with this. During the Spanish Civil War, Peru was very much on the side of the Republicans, to the point that they decided to boycott the Summer Olympics in Berlin due to Germany's support of the nationalists. They were one of and the Republicans also boycotted or whatever. I don't think there were any Spanish participants for the Olympics, 1936. Could be wrong about that, but I don't know. And I think they were the only Latin American country to do so, to boycott the Olympics over this. So they were rather, the government at the time, which very well may have changed between 1940 and 1936-37. Very well could have changed. I don't know that it's, the same government or not. But so they were one of the rather left-leaning, if you will, on my understanding, because they're supporting the Republicans in Latin America at the time, so that they would be drifting towards the Axis. And I sort of wondered where they would be on this triangle here. There's three factions in this game. Had they been drifting either very close to the Allies or very close to the Soviets, they might want to not be, get so close in that they would join the faction. But this doesn't seem to be that. I just wondered because, just again, I know I pointed out, but not everyone watches everything. Some countries like Turkey, like Switzerland, which is gone right now because we've invaded, but specifically are set up to never, through diplomatic means, join a faction. You can conquer them with, or you can declare war with the idea of puppeting them, yes, and then that whatever the remnant nation will be in your faction. But other than that method, there is no method that will get Turkey, Switzerland into your faction, as far as I know. Okay, well, since all my plans have gone to hell so far, they really have. Let's see if we push here. Okay, well, they're pushing. They're retreating out of there. So let's see if we can push into here. So we've had a major defeat somewhere. Yeah, we're still holding our content here. Okay, combined arms communications advance. The combined arms can communicate better. Through, good. Okay. Guess we're letting that go. We're all still on the dawn. We won. I think they're re-attacking because they keep winning and losing. We've lost the province, but hopefully these guys won't be able to run and they'll retreat in there fine and be able to hold out good. Okay, 13th Infantry Division motorized is shattered and yeah. Not good. Not good at all. Well, let's send these guys back to the front. Front to the back. We are focusing on massive amounts of supplies. Again, if you haven't been watching, the reason, my understanding is that fuel and supplies are a related situation, as in turning oil into fuel is based on how much supply production there is. That's my understanding. And I think maybe this is because we do see, well, traded away. That, my understanding is, unless I am selling any fuel, which you can see here, exports, no fuel is exported. So traded away, just as a information, is like here. If we are using fuel here, defending against or attacking or whatever, these guys are going to win, but they're getting pounded hard. In Iran, if we're using up fuel here or other supplies here, we Germany are replacing the fuel stocks used into Iran. Similarly, here, if we're using any fuel here or supplies here, we are sending in replacement supplies. So that is traded away. Convoyed out, that would be sent to these other areas here, into the network, and we see being used. And then we see stuff returning to the stockpiles. That it's deemed, instead of like, oh, well, we don't really need so much fuel. Oh, you just did this. Oh, that's right. We are sending forces like these to there to build some units out of some of these scrapped. Or some of these forces, shall we say. Okay. Oh, well, we don't, and they don't have any, well, these guys don't have any fuel here. But let's say, oh, well, we need to send fuel to here. And then I decide, I build these units, and then I decide to SR them out, particularly because they can't move right now by any way but trains. And then the fuel will get here and go, oh, well, we don't need it here now. Well, let's send it back to the capital instead of, well, let's sending it on to other points. So it's really sort of a clunky system. So some of it's being returned to stockpile. And we can come here on So it's going down, return to stockpile, traded for. Yeah, and I think maybe an element of this now, because this has been here for as long as I can remember, but some of the element here is that it's as bad as it is because where are we looking at here? Here, these type of things that are affecting supply production attacks, but I don't know if they're affecting fuel production. Okay, political indoctrination. There we are. Let's stop that. Cancel. Okay, well, it means we can research something else. Is there some other tactic we want to... Tactic doctrine. Right, they were pushing into Kursk, which I'm glad we got there. Okay, SS Panzer Grenadier HQs. It's under command. Okay, we should do Panzer HQs. But we're going to let that continue. And CAG group. Okay, that would be under air, I believe, and we're going to let that continue. Ground group, either way. Finland, yes, you may have as much metal as you want. I hope that metal makes you better off. Okay, brigade shattered. These guys here, right, okay. Yeah, these are the Slovaks. They did have their sort of fast, somewhat armored, well, you know, I don't know if it, well, I mean, they probably called it an armored battalion. I don't know how many, and they were actually mostly, I think, 38 Ts and 35 Ts tanks they got equipped with. They, you know, were motorized to some degree, but yeah, maybe they also bicycled or whatnot. And something like this is useful unit here, but not on its own. And it's obviously shattered, but you know, following, you know, supporting a proper armored attack or something like that, it is useful. But the way these things have changed here. Okay, let's see if we can get overrun that. Okay, then we're still there. Where were we? Here. Okay, okay, so yes, we did take out all of those. And I do know that that is how you take out conscripts. You have to be able to do that. Couple of things I will say. One, I am playing this fast. I know to some of you Hoi 4 players, it seems like I'm playing really slowly. Any of these units? Okay, we are incapable of holding this. I think would be the appropriate term. Okay, this is open plains province they'll be able to take. So you start falling back to here, you start coming back to here, and you come back to there. Because they're already pushing us here. You aren't going to hold for long. You come back to there. You come up to there. You're no good to us. You come to there. We can definitely hold in the swamp here, I am sure. But which means our drive on Leningrad, if we are holding there, basically to the point now is it's stopped. Okay, well, at least this didn't get overrun, and these guys fall back in good shape. So they should be able to hold here. They should hopefully get to there. They should hopefully get to there before those provinces are taken. Now we have two, you know, Romanian but mountain divisions holding against 6 armored brigades. Wow. Just in case these guys sort of collapse on us, we'll have the mountain division there. Let's move you there. These guys seem to be holding out very well in the mountains against a whole lot. These are down in the hills. But now we've got that combined arms unit, which is fairly damn good with some heavy AA, basically. Well, it's calling it this, but this is basically a Flak 88 type unit here. Heart attack, but with decent piercing, 49 piercing. So yeah, these guys should be able to hold out just fine in the hills. So let's move the mountain troops to the mountains. They will do the best. Okay, they're getting reinforcements. We've got here. Okay, good. So we've got here. Let's move their HQ to Kretch. As we'll get them up to there. So we've got this. Now, I will say this is a situation that I don't know is better or worse for supply, just for supply. This is a Romanian infantry division, the 9th particularly. Okay. Now that we've connected, and similarly we were doing that here, now that we've connected this here, the AI sort of won't run supply so well, or as well. It is still pushing 900 or 109.6 supplies. No fuel though, but that's probably because it doesn't have fuel in the system or something. Needs fuel. I mean, it is pushing fuel out. Oh no, these are some rares. Back in. Okay, ship fuel Paolo to Athens. Yeah, see, we're shipping fuel to freaking here. But so yeah, connecting these, I think it has sort of shown that it's, I don't know how well it's feeding stuff in. So now that this is connected through here, it may not be for the best for supply, because we can see quickly right here how well supplied this area is compared to a lot of these other areas, because it is much more efficient to move it via sea. And I really wish we had been able to hold this port, because I would be dumping supplies into there. Yeah, man, this could use railroads and it would be so lovely. Railroads with supply capacity and would flow supplies along them. That would be great. So yeah, but as a general tactical thing, this is good. Oh, well, we'll try that in a moment because it may crash things. Here, holding here, he's, you know, a Romanian division. So this is all on the Romanian techs, how good any of this stuff is. And so we can see infantry, we won't look at strength so much. Infantry unit training model is 1940, and infantry command and control is 1940, whereas you may realize we are infantry unit training 43, command and control 42 for Germany. So Germany is doing much better than Romania on the training. You can see that down here, right, sort of even to there when I come there. 1940 models, radio communications back at 1939. So these are, you know, this is a Romanian quality unit without anti-tank guns. It does have combined arms bonus because it does have a headquarters. It has reconnaissance. It has artillery. That is it. And an infantry brigade. Not really good if you want to, and I know I've talked about some of this stuff, if you want to hold a lot of front line to just have this. But because we're sitting in a swamp, because we're behind a river from the only place they're going to attack, I think this is going to be quite useful division. The other way that this is useful is, well, like here. This is useful here. We have another one of these units. It's just the same, but it's stacked with a relatively decent German division that has anti-tank, has rocket artillery, mixed support, keep all that in. So if they start pounding on this, whether it's this big stack here or just combination of all three of these provinces, and we're sitting behind a river, we're getting the urban defense bonus, whatever, petroleum refinery, yeah. So, you know, it's getting what it's getting in defense bonuses from the terrain and situation here. Now, if we didn't hold this province, then they would be able to attack, you know, not across the river, but here they're across the river. So these two divisions will probably hold out. This will be the best one. We have a couple of well, one brigade command. Now we don't need these guys here, so let's send this here, and we'll send up the militia here. These are even worse, getting to their counterattacking, but we'll get in here with some tank destroyers. That'll deal with whatever armor. We're bombing them, bombing Sochi, so that's pretty good. So yeah, these units, and I definitely know that some min-maxer types that want to have everything, and it's not a bad idea to have everything setting up the best, but I still appreciate having units like that. And let's see if we can sort of try to do this. Oh, well, before I try this, because it may crash out, if you haven't already, please subscribe, hit that like button, make a comment, and if you could, share it on a social media somewhere, or just in real life, tell a friend about this. So let's see if we can get this to... Okay, there. So that's the way. If you want to come in and assign a German, and we'll put Schmidt here, AR, because he's a defensive doctrine. So yeah, +5 in defense, Grand Cross, so offense, defense, +10%, forward attack, naval attack. I don't know why that's there, but submarine attack, I don't know why that's there. Well, yeah, I guess I do, in the sense that you can assign this Grand Cross to a naval commander, and it wouldn't matter, you know, it wouldn't matter that they're, you know, their fort defense or whatnot, and then just German general, which speed bonus in terrain planes is given national traits to them. So we've just now assigned, now of course this lowers organization levels because of that, but I think even with this, as long as we keep it reasonably well supplied, they'll regain it and just hold out here. And yes, it would have been better to come in to do it earlier on, but get that going. So that's a tricky way to add a general to a foreign supplied division. You can do that if you wish to. So that worked out well. We will be ending this. See you next time for even more Hearts of Iron.